For 1,000 years, bound beneath these waves, I have watched you.
Zovaal comes for us, armed with a cosmic understanding far beyond our own, and an army, the dwarves that of the legions. It's no wonder that we've both been defeated in the field of battle and left playing catch-up to his schemes. Or is it any wonder? Because N'Zoth told us this was coming. Il'gynoth told us this was coming. Unat even field-tested our prowess. And with that victory, we became N'Zoth's chosen. Sure, we didn't know about it at the time, and only some of us accepted the gift of N'Zoth. And to be honest with you, if N'Zoth wanted to make a good impression, he should have started a free trial with today's sponsor, squarespace.com/Bellular Gaming. Use code Bellular Gaming to get 10% off your first purchase. The link is down in that description. Now it's simple, right? Squarespace are the fastest and easiest way to get a great looking site quickly. And they've got us out of tight spots before. We spun up a simple website to handle hiring new staff who are working with us now in under an hour. And their award-winning templates, they are simply awesome. They let you hit the ground running, actually looking great, but of course with the room to customize to your desires later. Now your site is what people see of you online. If you want your portfolio to stand out, then yeah, a gorgeous, clean, and content-first site is what you're going to need to do that. Now, of course, there is far more. Do you want a website for your business? Maybe a personal site? Are you doing e-commerce? They've even actually started a new memberships feature as well if you want to roll your own memberships. Their excellent site builder, easy-to-use tools, and incredible templates are all that you need to get started. So, start your free trial today at squarespace.com/Bellular Gaming using code Bellular Gaming to get 10% off your first purchase. A big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring, and with that said, all eyes will be opened. So join me on a trip through the riddles, one that will reveal all. N'Zoth fought to protect Azeroth. No, really, he did. A planet consumed is one that he cannot consume. Zovaal's early victory would have ruined everything N'Zoth and his kin worked towards. With the powers of Void, he saw countless possible futures, and in many, it would seem that both us and him lost. He even knew how this whole thing would begin.
The veil wanes. His crown will open the way.
N'Zoth spoke those words as we fought Unat, his champion, and also a test meant for us. You see, N'Zoth's knowledge was more vast than we ever imagined. Not only did he see Zovaal, the jailer, coming, he also knew of Ashara's impending betrayal. That she did want to free him, yes, but only so she could drive the dormant black blade of the Empire through his skull, claiming his essence, as it did to the entity xal'atath eons ago. While Ashara schemed, N'Zoth listened. During our final showdown, he revealed all.
Behold my betrayal, and yours.
We have a bargain then. I will bring both fleets crashing to the ocean floor, and your champion will deliver the dagger to me.
And in turn, you will have the key required to free the old god from his bonds, and leave him vulnerable.
You wound me, War Chief. After all, I am as dedicated to my master as you are to your subjects.
Indeed. Just to be certain that once you have what you need, you dispose of your guests. Let none of the heroes escape.
I admire your ruthlessness, Windrunner. It seems our interests are aligned. At present.
At present.
Treacherous Banshee. Do you think I am blind to the darkness you seek to unleash?
Yes, N'Zoth knew Sylvanas' true master, just as he knew of Ashara's duplicity. In fact, N'Zoth discovered all of this before the battle for Azeroth even started. Alleria Windrunner knows how to fight back against the void that she embraced. Under Locust Walker's tutelage, she learned how to harness its power, but also how to fight its corruption and maintain her sanity. Yet even with that training, the mere sight of Sylvanas sent her corrupting whispers into overdrive. This is what they said. She seeks the death of all things, all possibilities. End her threat. Murder her. Save yourself and murder. Save the world and murder her. That is what it said. The Void, Azeroth's savior. Of course, Void cannot consume Azeroth if death beats it to the punch. So imagine a different timeline. One where Alleria strikes out with all of the Void's might, where Sylvanas is slain, where Zovaal loses his ally on Azeroth. History would be altered dramatically. No Fourth War, no battle for Azeroth, no Shadowlands. Time is N'Zoth's greatest ally, and this would have bought him all of the time that he needed. But none of that ended up happening, did it? Sylvanas did indeed play her part in Zovaal's plan, and that forced N'Zoth to react. Now aware of Ashara's betrayal and Sylvanas' true ambitions and master, N'Zoth acted, sending forth Unat, our test. For if we could defeat Unat, then, N'Zoth reckoned, we could also defeat Ashara, as she freed him, but weaken her so much that she could not actually carry out her own plan. And of course, we all know how that worked. Victory! The free N'Zoth used us, used Sylvanas, and used Ashara. And then his final prize lay before him, Azeroth. Yet N'Zoth knew he was no Yogg-Saron. He was the weakest of the old gods. He was the one who had to rely on his wits to get by. Now succeed, and Azeroth would be his. Fail, and death would claim her. And we would play a key role. You see, N'Zoth warned us. We are mere mortals, with but a fragment of his cosmic knowledge, and that is why he said this.
6 seats at the high table, 6 mouths that hunger, 1 will consume all others.
While we battled Unat, N'Zoth warned us. 6 seats at the high table. Light, void, death, life, order, chaos. Each hungers. We know, of course, that each force acts as it does in its natural way, without morality. Titans impose order, so if their idea of order suits you, then great, they'll be your allies. If not, well, I imagine most who disagreed with them have been ordered out of history. Light. We see it as good, yet Yrel waged a holy war of aggression in the Light's name, and the Scarlets, for a long time, wielded the light to commit atrocities. The one that will consume us, in this context, is of course death. We know that Zovaal wishes to consume Azeroth, and we know that if he does, he will remake creation. And of course, N'Zoth knew this too.
He grows hungrier, bolder. Alas, your eyes are closed.
By this stage, our eyes were closed. We didn't fully understand the Drost and where they came from. We didn't really know what Sylvanas was doing. We didn't know who her true master was. We were in the dark, yet he was not. N'Zoth warned us that the veil wanes, that the Lich King's crown would open the way. The Void Whispers, they even told Ogmot, a mere cultist, that Sylvanas would lead her people to their doom, and that the crows would grow fat off their flesh. So yes, N'Zoth, death does indeed grow more hungry. Turn to the next page of Ogmot's journal, and he references both an old Il'gynoth whisper and the Frozen Throne itself, when Ogmot writes, "Bound by that throne, no, free, free." Ogmot's journal and the Three Sisters comic are both things that took place before Battle for Azeroth, before N'Zoth woke up, as we saw with the xal'atath questline. It is clear that Void is worried about death, and by the time we fought Unat, N'Zoth cut through the riddles and even offered us power.
I alone can save you from what is to come.
Armed with the champions of Azeroth, N'Zoth would claim his prize, and together we would defeat death and invite the Void Lords into reality, securing dominance for that cosmic force. But that did not happen. Our eyes were closed to the darkness ahead of us in the form of death, and also we knew that N'Zoth was ultimately a tremendous evil who did not wish us well. And by the time we fought him directly, he just flat out told us that our minds are closed, that he knows more than us, and that he has the path to power. And most notably, this.
Only I can save this world. Yield and serve. Save this world.
Yes, only he can save the world. And yes, save the world. That is what the Void whispered to Alleria a year previous. So what then of the future? Well, for that, listen to this.
When the arrow finds its mark, the last fetter will fall away.
I believe this line is key, and in fact references a major narrative event that is going to happen very soon. You see, a fetter is a restraint, right? A chain connected to a manacle that is often placed around the ankle. We are currently awaiting patch 9.1, Chains of Domination. The jailer, of course, spent aeons figuring out how to weaponize the chains that bound him, and we see the likes of Sylvanas wield that power. In patch 9.1, his chains pull Korthia from the in-between. Yet he is still in his chains. He is not free. He cannot leave the maw. Yet. For when the arrow finds its mark, the last fetter will fall away. Zovaal will finally have his freedom. But ultimately, will we be succeeding where N'Zoth failed? Or is it the case that N'Zoth's plan did not fail, that it is still going on? What if N'Zoth planned to be defeated? What if right now we are effectively active agents of N'Zoth's plan? You might think that's absurd. I would say it's not. We still bear the gift of N'Zoth, because canonically, we received it after passing N'Zoth's test, defeating Unat. It has not featured in the narrative since, so we still bear his gift. And he's also not dead, not really. assuming we did defeat him, as was shown in the cinematic, well, Blizzard have already teased us, asking, where does an old god go when it dies? And referencing how demons go to the twisting nether. So, the essence of N'Zoth and his compatriots is absolutely still out there. So what if N'Zoth, then, planned to be defeated? I mean, we marched right into Ny'alotha. We tore through his minions with ease, and we defeated him. Like the fall of Mordor, Ny'alotha crumbled, and Magni gave us our 75 gold, and with that, the war was won. Bit good to be true, wasn't it? It was a bit easy. It didn't feel like much of a climax or conclusion. There could be a few reasons here, at least for his plan. Where is the Black Blade of the Empire? You can't answer that question. I can't either. Nobody can. In Tides of Vengeance, N'Zoth let xal'atath go, but he kept the blade that housed her. Later, Wrathion did this. Pay attention. Pay close attention. Wrathion was blasted back, as if some incredible transfer of power took place. Yet look at his hands. Where is the dagger? Go through the rest of the story. Where is the dagger? You see, it is heavily implied that xal'atath was essentially an old god, who long ago, in the days of the Black Empire, whose essence was trapped within the Black Blade, likely as punishment. And that means that the Black Blade of the Empire can contain the essence of an old god. And I have a feeling that means that N'Zoth essentially used the Black Blade of the Empire like a phylactery. I mean, note that he specifically kept it. I assume he was waiting to be stabbed with it, so that he could do this, but only after he dealt with Ashara and set everything up. And of course, took his shot at manifesting his reality by using the Forge of Origination. And I would say, note how N'Zoth barely says anything to us during his fight, and how the least powerful, yet smartest of all old gods, seemingly hinged his entire plan on a fight. You see, Steve Denuser told us that old gods have plans within plans, that they wait for one door to close so that another may be opened, and that to believe there can only be one single outcome would be to ignore all N'Zoth tried to teach us.
Before the last shadow falls, the Father of Sleep shall savor his feast.
Il'gynoth said that just before we defeated N'Zoth. Remember, Void sees all possible realities, yet he still said that. If N'Zoth is the Father of Sleep, and he is tucked away, nice and cozy, within the Black Blade, then he very well may savor his feast. All because we, the bearers of his gift, went to the Shadowlands, bearing his gift, as he clearly predicted we would, because of course he knew that the veil would shatter, that the helm would open the way. We went there, and we did the dirty work for him. We really did. All these void whispers telling us that death is a big problem. You know, trying to co-opt Alleria's mind so that she would deal with Sylvanas. Because if Alleria did deal with Sylvanas, well, the battle for Azeroth wouldn't have happened. The blood that was spilled, the souls that were released, would not have went to the Maw. It would have been very different. We just went in there. We're now doing N'Zoth's stuff for him. That's essentially what's going on here. Plans within plans. So there's really not much else to say here, other than, yeah, N'Zoth's plan is still in play, and we are principal agents. So there you go. Old Nigel, he's probably not dead. He's probably all cozy in the Black Blade. We're going to deal with death for him, and once we do that, perhaps the Void will strike back again. But perhaps it'll be more than that. Because we know that old gods, just like how a demon goes to the Twisting Nether, where does an old god go? It goes somewhere, right? Blizz have teased us that. Yogg-Saron was a little bit active. The Legion, pre-sort of quest line. Cthulhu, he's still knocking about in essence form. So I'm thinking, if we're playing into N'Zoth's plan right now as we speak, and all of his mates are just floating around in essence form, and N'Zoth is just sitting in his phylactery waiting to make his next move, I don't know. So thank you for watching, and of course be sure to check out Squarespace in that link down below. Today you found out how it was very useful for us when we were hiring up new staff. In the next, though, you'll see us spin up something new and fresh to Squarespace. It'll be a bunch of fun. So thanks to them for sponsoring. Thank you to you for watching. I hope you learned something new in today's video, and I'll see you next time.